Adventure is in my blood. Finding treasures big or small and having fun is what it's all about. With my wife Melissa and our 3 kids, life is pretty full. But there isn't a mountain we can't climb together. This isn't your ordinary antique store. My name is Alex Archbold and this is Curiosity Inc.
Well, good morning, guys, and welcome to today's episode. Yesterday was a really big day for not just my store, but for my family and I. We got the zoning in place that we needed to open this business, which also in turn helps protect this building as a heritage site. A really big day. And, just kind of, I feel like after you've run a marathon and you just kind of need to just sit for a couple minutes, I kind of just feel like I need to just take it all in and just relax. But there's still so much more work to do. We have to make sure that development permits are in place, that business license is set up, that things like the debit machine and all of our mail is moved over to this location. It's not an easy road from here, and I've got essentially 15 to 20 days or so to get this together before we can do a grand opening. And that's what I'm going to work on, is basically getting the store finished up. In today's episode, we're going to try very hard to get the last of the merchandising done, products priced, and get some of the hard work done with getting the business set up and ready to go. But for now, for today, I'm just taking a breather. I'm going to still plow through some work, of course, but it's just a breath of fresh air knowing that we got that zoning. Back I go to the Edmonton Service Center to get my business license and everything all in order and get ready for that grand opening day. Okay, got my ticket. Just waiting to see somebody. It's kind of like the waiting room of the Beetlejuice movie, if you remember that. Except there's, people look about as much alive. So just waiting. Okay, well that happened. I'm glad that I came down today because there's a 2-week waiting period for your business license to get processed, which means that if I would have waited until the end of the week, that would have slowed me down a whole other week. I can't open the business for at least 2 weeks. So now it's just waiting game, and then hopefully get this place opened up. There is one important thing I do have to do this morning. Zoning sign is finally down. Now just to wait for Dave to come and get my Curiosity Inc. sign painted up top. One project that I've yet to do is to make the cards for each of these little drawers. Now this is an old retail counter that I got from the abandoned general store that Stephen and I went and purchased in Saskatchewan a year and a half ago. What I want to make sure I do is to label each drawer with what's inside. So for this one, it would be bicycle accessories, or this one, bendy figures like Gumby and Pokey and Batman. So every drawer is going to have something different in it, and I want to make sure that I have it well labeled so people can sort through and find what they're looking for. Plus, it's kind of fun to go through and see what you might find. So I'm going to get busy making up little labels and marking these drawers. I also have to label this old watchmaker's cabinet, which I got from the ambulance full of watches video that I did a little while ago. Each drawer has been repurposed for toy cars. So this one's going to be for Blackwall Hot Wheels, and we'll have others for old Matchbox and Corgis and Huskies and Johnny Lightning. Everything will have its place, but it all has to get labeled, and that's not going to be too difficult. I have these old cards that are in here to use as a template for cutting new ones, which is what I will do, and then mark it all up, and that'll be one less thing I have to worry about. And today is going to be a pretty busy day. At some point this afternoon, I have Josh coming by to work on the piano bar that we have envisioned for the kitchen, and Dave should be returning with my store sign. We were waiting to put it up because we didn't officially have our zoning and didn't want to completely jump the gun. But now that we do, the sign can go up. And I have to do a little bit of work around the store, pricing, cleaning, putting stuff away, but also going to the basement. It's been a little on the stinky side. It kind of smells like a bunch of high school students threw their old sweaty gym socks into a laundry hamper and left it for like 5 years. It's musty. And the reason why it's musty is that, well, the wall had been seeping water in. It's not a full basement like you'd have in a normal house. This was a boomtown building, which means they had a cement curb, like a cement curb that came up, and then it's basically a dirt floor with wooden beams. There is a little cement basement dugout down there, but it had seepage, and that was a result of the grade not being correct on the side of the building. That's all fixed now, but I have to make it smell a little bit better now that we're not getting water down there. To do that, I'm using a couple products. One is mold control. I've never used this before, but the idea is that you spray it on your surfaces until it's really wet, and then you let it dry, and that will kill any bacteria or must or mold growth that's on there. The other one is basically just a Lysol disinfectant spray, which should kill some of the atmospheric grossness that's out there, and also make it smell like a spring waterfall. That'll be nice, much better than it is now. Got the hatch off for the basement, and yes, there is kind of a little secret staircase. It feels like the escape, the panic room. So we're gonna go down here and get started. See what I mean? You can see the remnants of water coming in over top of this little wall, and all it is really is just a kind of a curb with a dirt floor. There's not much to this basement. I guess you wouldn't need much back then, but that's where the furnace and everything is. So gonna get spraying some mold destroyer on that. And they say the idea with this stuff is that you spray it on until your wall is basically saturated, and you let it dry, and it's that process that gets rid of that musty smell that we all have grown to hate. I'd say by far the basement, my least favorite part of this building. We're gonna try and make it at least a little bit nicer. Well, that was fun. I luckily don't have to go down there very much, but it does smell a whole lot better. In fact, it smells like spring breeze. I'm gonna close the hatch, let that stuff dry, and that should help reduce some of the airborne smell I was getting whenever the furnace kicked on. I'm also installing a new lock on the bathroom door because the other one, well, it didn't lock, and not ideal when someone's in here using the bathroom and somebody else walks in on them. Not a surprise that people usually enjoy. So I'm getting this new lock put on, which pretty much looks just like the one they had on there, except this time it'll work. Go. One working door handle. Just make sure that it locks. Does. There, now people can actually not stress when they're using the bathroom. Done. But I've got to stop playing around with fixing doors and things like that. I have a fellow coming by. Last night I listed some old shelving that was in the garage for free, and someone's coming to pick it up, I think, any minute. I gotta go back there and open the garage door. We come check on the fellow who's loading out the shelving out of the garage. It'd be nice to have the extra space in here. Shelving system is gone, which is kind of nice. He's had an inventive way of strapping it to the back of his truck and to run it down the tailgate. Off he goes. Not quite big enough to fit the Cadillac in, but it will be big enough to use for storage or for other vehicles as they happen to come my way. So that's one thing done. Still don't know what I'm gonna do with this canoe light. I kind of want to hang it, but I don't want to wreck what I've got going on in the store. So here it sits until I figure that out. Welcome back, Josh. So it's been about a week, I guess, since I saw you. You've been busy. Did you go to Arizona last week, or was that before?
Well, yeah, last week, yeah.
Yeah, you were gone for a little bit, and you're back now.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your plan for today with this piano?
Okay, so we know that we want this to be our surface with glass on top, but we don't know how we're going to actually mount it onto the piano. So I'm going to try to figure out a way that we can do that. Probably have to go get some sort of bracket system or something. I don't know. Just going to do some brainstorming, really.
Josh, and the keyboard for that piano have disappeared. I think he's left this note for me. That's my writing from before. I think he's out back. See if I can find him.
How to set this thing up. Never used it yet. I actually bought this when we were doing the potter's house, but then I didn't actually end up needing it.
So it's just a big guide that clamps on, more or less?
Yeah, it's like a track saw sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's just so you can make a nice, perfectly straight line. And since this line is going to show, I want it to be like perfectly straight.
Yeah, so it's going to be visible for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know how to use it just yet. Ah, there we go.
You know, magic is about to happen when Josh is getting his own camera ready to film for himself. Is that your tripod? The electrical conduit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, whatever works.
Okay. Moment of truth coming up.
And I was saying earlier, you might be the first person to ever attempt cutting a piano keyboard straight across in one shot. This could be its own YouTube episode, just watch a guy cut a piano keyboard.
All right. I've never used this before.
Today's gonna be the day.
Yeah, we shall see how she goes. Okay, one last check here.
Is there anything holding that thing in place so it doesn't wiggle around?
It has like these grippy things. You can get clamps for it, but on this sort of thing, it wouldn't clamp to it nicely just because all its shapes in it.
Okay, well, I'll trust that you know what you're doing. Or I'll trust that you don't, but you're trying anyway.
Moment of truth.
Whoa, that was mesmerizing. I think you cut your blue plastic shield a little bit.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Oh, are you?
It's to create a zero clearance. You're supposed to do it first, but I was like, why?
Oh, okay. So, you could build something out of all those little chunks of wood.
Yeah, I'll probably end up keeping them because I always keep everything.
Well, it's a good thing you did, because if you hadn't kept the keyboard out of my piano, I'd be going, I wonder what we can use to build a counter. It wouldn't be as cool as this.
Yeah.
That did a nice job.
Yeah, I like it. Now I just have to cut this off, and then we can figure out how we want to put her on.
Cool.
Okay, if I just make them even on both sides.
So the easiest solution was to just basically get a plank of wood and cut it down. It's going to be painted, and that's going to be sitting on top, so you'll never really see it. But it had to be sturdy enough that you could actually sit here. Yeah, that's generally the idea.
Right.
I guess the only other thing we have to do is to build something up a little bit on each side so the glass can sit on top of it.
Yeah, I know what we're going to do for that. That's perfect height with that little bit higher height of the glass.
Yeah, it'd be great. Play us a song, you're the piano man. Play us a song tonight. Why do I sound like Stewie Griffin?
Dude,
Say.
You sounded just like, I mean, you kind of did.
Billy Joel sounds like Stewie Griffin. And I'm using Zepp hardwood and laminate floor refinisher. I feel like it reminds me of like mopping glue. You kind of put a little bit on the floor and then you spread it around. And I can't help, every time I'm putting something on the floor like this, I feel like a bad guy, like in a Die Hard kind of movie, who's like gonna douse something in gasoline and light a match and then say a catchphrase. Except, don't worry, insurance company, if you're watching, I'm not planning on lighting my store on fire. I don't know, was gas cheaper in the 80s? I mean, were they just handing it out for free at the gas station? Like, say, Fat Tony, you need some gas, here's a couple jerry cans. Or were they going camping after, like, and they had jerry cans full of gas in the back of their half ton for loading up their quad? I don't know. Either way, it seemed like they were using gasoline out of jerry cans like it was going out of business.
But that's not me. I'm refinishing my hardwood floors.
I hear the pitter patter of little feet outside. Could it be Santa Claus? No.
Well, hopefully we spelt everything right.
Yeah. You know, surprisingly, a lot of people have a hard time spelling the word curiosity. They try and add a U in there. Ah, which is exactly what you did.
Yeah. That's incredible.
So that is yeah, there's no U in curiosity.
No, that's a massive fail.
Yeah.
But it's fixable.
I mean, on the plus side, it would look cool if it was spelled correctly. Yeah.
Well,
Dave takes the sign away to go and fix it, and we'll see him on Friday.
we'll spell it right the next time.
See you, Dave. Well, that's unfortunate. But at least Josh is here getting that piano counter fixed up. I can hear him drilling in the background. As for the sign, well, how ironic that I was joking about people spelling curious wrong or curiosity wrong, and that's what happened. But human error.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, I'll talk.
That sounded like an important phone call. Are you going to have your people phone their people?
Man, right now I am my people.
Yeah, I know the feeling. So once those are on, we should be able to lay that board on top.
This is gonna look snazzy, as they say.
Not sick?
Well, that's how someone from nowadays would say it.
Do you think that they would
Like,
use
they'd
that
say
expression?
fire.
What if you were doing something in a hospital? Would you say, this looks sick, and then everybody would be really offended? You look like you're on your way to a concert for a really weird, like, techno pop, maybe like a synth band, because that you just have to have a wire hooked up to it.
Okay. Let's see here. So if you're sitting here, it's good height, I think.
Yeah,
Have the glass just slightly higher.
that'd be good.
I like it.
So we just need, I guess, a couple, we're going to get little risers here.
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about?
Yeah. So once you have the glass, I'll come back, see what we can use that has an acceptable aesthetic to it, and then we'll be ready to start serving milkshakes, I guess.
And remember how I had all these baskets on my counter I've been complaining about? Well, I finally got the display stand in. I got a call today that apparently it's been sitting at the warehouse for like a week here in town. They tried to deliver it, but I wasn't around. So, got it now, and I have a little helper here with me who's going to help me set it up.
You're taping while I had this upside down.
What are you doing, honey? Okay, let's see what happens when you flip it over. That is insane. That's a lot of sheep.
I was about to flip it, and then you started videotaping. So I had to hold it, which was really hard.
You had to move it. What we have to do now is set the candy display on top of this. It was broken, but I can see the new one that arrived is just fine. So I'm going to put that on there, and yeah, baseball. Where is it?
This is it. How does this work?
Okay, this sits right on top of this.
It's a big tree.
Makes a big tree. Exactly.
Where are you supposed to put the candy?
You seem like you really need to know this. Okay, all these little hooks right here, every single hook here has a basket that goes on it. So let's grab one of these baskets. Yeah, and see, I've put the tags on it. So you can see this one is what?
Cherry.
Yeah. What I don't know is if I should have probably... Oh no, it'll work. They kind of go like that, and they go all the way around.
That makes more sense. I thought you were like putting the suckers one
No.
by
Do you want to help me put the baskets on? And while Abigail continues putting baskets of suckers on the stand, I'm going to work on getting some coffee mugs and other things put away.
So, what I have done here is I have put all of the candies on the shelf and put 3 on the bottom because there's no more hooks for them.
I think it looks really good. Would it make you want to eat one of those suckers? You want to pick one out?
Yeah.
Okay, which one are you going to get?
This one.
What flavor is it?
I think it's blueberry.
Blueberry? Okay. There's got to be some perks for coming to help Dad. And now we're putting away some coffee cups that we got as part of our little gift shop area. And Abio, you really like this one. Why'd you like it?
Because it says get to the point with a cute narwhal.
Let's see the other side. Let's see the picture. Okay, let's see one more time. Oh yeah. That looks like an Abigail cup if ever I saw one.
Yeah, it is. Can I do it?
Front counter is in place, and we even got the old phone working. You want to answer?
Sure. Hello. Hi, Mom.
Oh, what did Mom have to say? Did Mom say it sounded weird?
Yeah, sounded weird, Dad.
Here we have a general store counter. Originally, I had plans to put all of my military stuff up at the front. I kind of laugh now because of how ridiculous it would have been. I'd like 2 peppermint sticks, please, young lady.
These things?
Yeah, except you wouldn't call them things to a customer. You'd say these delicious, wonderful, enjoyable candy sticks.
Here you go, sir, just for me.
But my experience has been, it's much easier to sell these signs when they're spelt correctly.
Well, you only had it a day. You got it all fixed up. I think that looks really good. And the vision with this sign was that it would kind of look like an old soda advertisement, but it would in fact be my store name, so that when you look at the front of the store, it would seem like it's meant to be there or that it's an advertisement. But it says Curiosity. Again, I like that it's spelled correctly, and I certainly like how you've continued the C through the R. I think that looks great, Dave. Thank you very much for bringing it by.
You're very welcome. I appreciate your patience. In my own defense, you know, it's funny, I talked to my wife about this. She didn't know that either. She looked it up. Oh my God, there is no U in that.
That's what I was saying. A lot of people get that. I thought I picked an easy name for people to spell for the business, but apparently I picked one that a lot of people have a tough time with.
Well, I was one of them. It probably would have helped if I, would have looked at your business card or...
Well, that's okay. It's fixed now and it looks great. Since I have a little bit of downtime before the store opens, probably another week or two here, I thought I would take the opportunity to get some chores done around the shop. I'm still putting stuff away and cleaning up and getting ready and pricing, but I got this pinball machine in last week and it needs some new rubber so that the ball bounces around properly. I ordered this kit in. I just think I found it on either eBay or Amazon or something, but they do sell kits specific for your machine. This one's a Big Shot by Gottlieb, so I ordered all the new rubber. These are for your paddles or for your flippers. These are for your bumpers. The reason why you want to have new rubber is so when the ball shoots around, it gets a nice spring and has fast action on the playing field. Plus, if you don't, this happens, they get brittle and break, which is what happened back there. And that's really what prompted me to start thinking about replacing it anyway. Get this broken one out. It's going to give me a chance to clean the playing field and clean the glass and put it all back together looking great too. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch out all the rubber on this pinball machine. First step, you got to remove the screws that hold these little plexiglass covers in place. Probably be a good chance for me to replace some light bulbs while I'm at it too. I might have to run out to get those. I don't think I have any extras. Okay, new rubber is on. Now the big test. See if it works. Well, everything seems to be working just as it should. Other than my playing abilities, I think the machine is pretty well good to go. And Josh isn't here right now, but I did get the glass for the piano, so I'm going to see if I can get that in place and lined up and working. So I have to make sure this is nice and secure so I can actually start using this thing. Taking advantage of a natural split in the keyboard to put what is essentially treaded stem glides. These are what you put on the bottom of your furniture to help you move your furniture around, but when they're flipped the other way, they can hold your glass in place. So we've got the front piece of the glass resting right on the ebony, and then the back part being rested on the elevated felted platforms, and it actually makes a nice sturdy surface. But that is in place. Now to get the stools mounted. Glass is in place, stools are in place, and just a couple more tweaks and this will be done. This certainly takes the mini piano bar to a whole new level. Aside from some final touches, I'm just about ready to open. Still have to put in the fireplace behind me in the addition, but this back part is just about done. Really, it's pricing, organizing, sorting, just the final steps of it, and then this place will be ready to go. Got the piano bar in place, got the guitar wall up and running. I mean, everything is more or less coming along as I imagined it would. From my oddities cabinet, to my tobacco stands, to my music department, everything has its place, and that's just how I wanted it to be. With a lot of work, this place has finally come together, and I'll soon be able to open. Next episode, I'm hoping to get the store sign put up. Hopefully I'll have a opening date announced and planned, because I'm still waiting on my business license to open up. And we'll have the fireplace put in, I think, first week of October. So lots still to do, but I am feeling much more confident, and I can actually breathe a little bit after that zoning went through. So thanks so much for watching this episode, guys. Don't forget to tune in for hopefully the grand finale will be a couple episodes away where we get to open the doors. Subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook under Curiosity Inc. YEG on Instagram, or on Facebook under Curiosity Incorporated. And thanks for watching. We'll see you all soon. Bye for now.